you smell that? That's that freedom.
Ladies and gentlemen, Red Pill Tamales, Chingo, Bling, producer Rob.
What up?
All right, y'all. Here's a little bit of bonus. What the hell is Logan Paul talking about?
You already saw this clip, right?
Yeah, I saw it, and it ticked me off, man. So he's basically being a useful idiot, and he did this rant where he's just going off about how everything's racist and all brown people are victims, basically.
Yeah. Let's see what he had to say. Let's see what the fans think.
Y'all get ready.
It is not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Yes.
Condemn those who feign superiority because of the color of their skin. Friends, hold friends accountable. Hold your family accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And most importantly, we must hold our authorities accountable. Police officers, politicians, policymakers. As Killer Mike said, bully the politicians at the voting booth. Make your voice heard. Attend a protest. Speak up against injustice. If you're white, if you look like me, use your privilege.
Oh, my God.
And for those who do not think white privilege exists, you are blind.
Ooh,
you are
bleep that.
delusional, and you are part of the problem. I can count on 0 hands the amount of times that I have feared for my life at a routine traffic stop. That has never happened.
Okay.
Half of the reason I'm able to get away with something.
Okay. All right. We've had enough.
All right, so this dude, he's like 25 years old, and you know he's really young. He's a famous rich kid. You know, arguably, yeah, okay, cool. We want to talk about privilege. Yes, okay, you have some, but I don't like his tone. It's like he's telling me, you know, he probably sees me as a marginalized person of color,
You
Latinx,
are, yeah.
Latinx, and this and that. I don't act a fool. If I ever get pulled over, I don't ever act a fool with police.
Yeah.
I don't ever resist. I don't ever be just riding dirty, doing nothing stupid. So I've never had a bad interaction with a police officer. Logan Paul, you're just being a useful idiot. Like everything he was saying, we have to be activists and we have to join a movement and we need to, you just can't be not racist. You gotta be anti-racist. Hold your family accountable. It sounds like he wants to go around snitching on people for whatever he interprets as racist.
Yeah, I'm interested in who was on this clip with him. Like, I know this is a clip that's making its rounds around social media.
Yeah.
I'm curious who the guest was or who was on or why it even came up as a topic of conversation. But I'm the same way. Like, I've never had let me say this, I've never had a pleasant interaction with a cop when it comes to a traffic stop, because usually it's for speeding, you know?
Okay.
So they're already upset that they're like, hey man, why you going this speed limit and whatever? I'm like, well, you know, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
And they're usually rude. They are rude, you know,
But it doesn't necessarily mean it's because you're brown.
No, by no means. But that kind of conversation that when we played it on the podcast, if you want to listen to it, the Robin DiAngelo take on that everything and everybody's racist, even comedy. If you're trying to be funny, Chingo Bling, that's an excuse for you to be racist.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of message that this guy's spreading.
Yeah, so y'all be on the lookout. Beware of that, man. To me, I look at it like it's the Marxism, the way the CCP back in the day in China, they had this cultural revolution, and basically they brainwashed the youth to want to. Theirs wasn't about race. Theirs was about class. So basically, they brainwashed all the kids during their cultural revolution in China to basically be like, you know, call out your parents. You know, is somebody being elitist? Is somebody trying to have private property and they're not being in favor of the commune, equity? Everybody got to be equal. We all got to be whatever. They're promoting communism. What he's spewing out there is divisive. It's Marxist. They're trying to make everything about privilege, everything about race. They're brainwashing. You see it with these young little TikTokers like Charlie D'Amelio, the young white girl to be up there doing the TikTok dances and all that. She did a whole thing. First of all, she had the little black fist as her icon. She was like all in with the BLM organization, not knowing what they're really about. And she did a similar struggle session where she's just like whipping herself in the public square like, I'm sorry for being white. I'm sorry for being white. Her thing was, I know I have a responsibility as an influencer, and with everything going on in our country and racism and black people and the police and this and brown people and Latinx and blah, 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 I got to do better and it's not enough. You hear actors do it all the time too. Like Hollywood is trained. They're in line with this ideology has gone mainstream. It's very, very dangerous, man. Like if we let that critical race theory stuff into our schools and they start making your kids do these equity surveys. Do you have privilege? Check your privilege. Like they're brainwashing you. They're hitting. You're not supposed to have kids put like, what are your genders? Like, what do you mean? What you mean? How many are
What do
there?
you identify as?
How many are there? So I'm sure a lot of raza and stuff, Latinos that are watching this, a lot of y'all conservative just don't know it. Like if you sit down with a Latino one-on-one and tell them how do you feel about this topic, that topic, abortion, so on and so forth, freedom of religion. Do you like? Is it okay if your tia goes to church? Yeah. Okay. Cool. If you go through a little list like that, they damn near sound like Republicans.
Yeah.
Except they tend to vote blue. So it's like, how are you in favor of all these things? Law and order. You don't want crime in your community, but yet you voting this way. I don't know. It's been a disconnect. You tell me.
Tell us in the comments.
Y'all let me know in the comments. But what was his name? Logan Paul? Jake?
Yeah, Logan Paul. Yeah.
Logan Paul, look here, bro. You don't know what you talking about. Stop talking down to people, telling them they're oppressed. All this supposed racism y'all talking about, where is it? Like, well, it's systemic. It's hidden. It's everywhere. It's everything's racist. And it's like, no, it ain't, man. Let's just all be American. We're all on the same team. We all want the same stuff. We all want some freedom of speech. We want to be able to just laugh, go to a comedy show. Not everybody be, sorry, can I joke about that? And then the white man don't have no freedom of speech. Like, there are things that you and I could say, Rob, that a white male cannot, because they already looking at him like, hey, man, how you feel about the Cleveland Indians changing their name to the Cleveland Guardians? Well, it's many conservatives feel that the tradition and it was honoring the Native American community, but and then you got to be like, it's okay, man, I'm conservative. Whew. Oh man, yeah, dude, they changed the mascot, and I guess.
Yeah, you got to go along and get along, right?
Yeah, and that's a tricky one because it's like, well, it's just a team. I don't know.
Sure.
But we also saw a story where I guess some people on the left, they're trying to rename over 1,000 rivers, national parks, because according to them, they have racist names. It might be like George Washington River or something. But he owned slaves.
Yeah.
And Papi Trompas, he called it. He said, what's going to happen next? They're going to tear down George Washington. What about Abraham Lincoln? Everyone's like, bro, they just want to take down Robert E. Lee. It's not that deep, bro. Robert E. Lee was a Confederate. They lost. There's no reason to have a loser statue up. Okay, they went and tore up Abraham Lincoln. They trying to tear down George Washington. They want to rename everything. Y'all are witnessing a cultural revolution. They trying to get away from all traditions. They want to basically burn everything down, start over, so that they can be in charge and rule over the ashes. Chingo Bling told you that.
And Logan Paul's audience is super young, so you know that they're, he's purposely, either someone's telling him to get this messaging out there, or maybe he's come to the conclusion on his own. But he knows that the audience is young, and that's the mission. Right?
It sounds like the nice, hip, cool thing. You're gonna get pats on the back.
Yeah.
That ideology, it sounds cool on the surface, but it's gone mainstream. So it's basically like there's a snake in the house, like this critical theory, this Marxism, this you can't have free speech, all this division. Everything's about race. Everything's about equity. Like Cuba, they did a good job with their equity. Everybody's equally starving. Everybody's equally screwed. In Cuba, you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to grab this mango off my tree, make a smoothie, sell it to my neighbor. Nope. Here comes the government. Here comes the state. You're going to get fined. You're going to go to jail. In Cuba, you can't just go take a fish out that river or that lake or that ocean, go home and cook and eat it. It's like that belongs to the government. That is the state. They gave all their power. Well, I guess they didn't give it. They took it. They disarmed their, the citizens, and it's all about the government and the state, and they just really oppressing the people. However, you got AOC, major people on the left, that rather take the Cuba situation and spin it into it's America's fault. Well, they got an embargo on America. It's like that embargo don't got nothing to do with all the chicken and millions of dollars of aid and food that we send over there. It's not the American government that's oppressing the Cubans. It's not the Americans that took away their arms, took away their rights, took away their right to protest, oppressing them, starving them. It ain't got nothing to do with us. That's the Cuban regime. And right now, there's like thousands of Cuban Americans protesting out in D.C., And the media don't know how to spin it. They're just like, well, y'all were allowing other people to protest. Why all of a sudden, just because they're Cuban American, why y'all not telling them, yes, come to our shores. Yes, we can take y'all in. What's all this hypocrisy, Rob? What's going on?
Bro, people are wild these days, dude. It takes the collective, right? It takes everybody finding out. A lot of people don't even know what you're talking about right now. They haven't heard a lot about it. They haven't read it because they're just too busy at work. They're too busy living their lives.
I understand that.
And it's our job, in a sense, to talk about these topics, bring them to light, get people in the conversation in the comment section about it. That way that, we can all kind of be on the same page.
Yeah, there's a lot of important stuff that we talk about on the podcast, Red Pill Tamales. A lot of people are busy. Just look, man, I don't like politics. I don't want to get involved. I just focus on my business and mind my family's business. However, if you're not that involved in what they're teaching your kids at school, they're putting stuff in their head. They're telling them that they're victims. If they're white, they're telling them that they're oppressors. They're teaching your kids to look at everything based on color of skin, not content of character.
Yeah, there was a phrase that didn't resonate with me until later in life when you get married and have kids, and that was that either you get involved with politics, get involved with politics before it gets involved with you, and that doesn't ring true until you actually see that. Like, okay, I see.
Hey, guess what? Every time you got to pump gas, whoo, elections matter. Every time, and I know some people are like, oh, Chingo, it fluctuates. It's a lot of factors. Yeah, it is a lot of factors. However, we literally a few months ago, we were energy independent. We had our own petroleum, our own oil. We had enough to sell elsewhere. We were independent. Now, we're no longer independent. Now they shut down our pipeline. Meanwhile, they opened up the Russia through Germany pipeline. They're making billions of dollars. What the hell's going on? So, like Rob just said, either start kind of peeping game and paying attention, because this will affect your personal life. Inflation is going up. They're crashing the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar about to be the peso. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. Right now, the U.S. dollar is like the standard in many, many countries. And they're printing up 9, 10 trillion. You about to pay for it. You are. We all are. The middle class, the working class.
Yeah.
Taxes. So that's the kind of stuff we cover on Red Pill Tamales. Shout out to everybody who came to the show in Phoenix, man. I had a great time. Next stops are San Jose, California, Denver, Colorado, El Paso, Texas. Do not get sold out. ChingoBling.com. Get your tickets now. Rob, what else do we cover on Red Pill Tamales, bro?
We cover everything from the political stuff, right? What's going on in the White House in D.C. to the cultural war, right? Things that are going on culturally, whether it's school, the gender politics, censorship, free speech, Second Amendment, everything that knowing it or not, you deal with on a day-to-day basis, right? You have a friend that likes guns, likes to go to the range. Maybe you don't know, you feel uncomfortable about it. Well, we just talk about it, maybe with people who are experts as well. We talk about, kids taking surveys in the 4th grade that the school says, don't tell your parents about this.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and answer these questions.
They're telling the kids, don't tell your parents about this equity survey, where they're asking the kid to pick their gender and talk about what kind of privilege they have. If you don't see that as brainwashing...
We talk about independent thinking. We talk about people that have boots on the ground in certain parts of the country that are reporting things that you're not getting anywhere else. So it might sound a little kooky crazy to people that don't tune in or haven't tuned in since the beginning, but it's worth a shot to just pick an episode, maybe pick a guest, maybe pick a topic, pick a title that sounds interesting, and give it a shot.
Yeah, because I get it, y'all. For years, I was playing different characters. I'm doing parodies. I'm jumping around music videos with a grill. I'm 41 now. I got 2 daughters, 1 on the way. Puras mujeres. These are like grown-up type topics. And I know some people are like, man, what happened to Chingo Bling? I thought you was Mr. Started from the border. I thought you was Mr. They can't deport us all. It's like, if you really pay attention to what's happening at the border, you're not going to be happy with what's happening to women and kids and how they get in traffic. You're not going to be happy with this opioid crisis we're having, this fentanyl coming in. And some of this stuff, man, like big tech and the algorithm just kind of don't. It's kind of like, that's not advertiser friendly.
It doesn't favor this.
Yeah, it's like they don't want you talking about ciertas cosas. But anyway, I just wanted to check in, man, for all my people on social media. I love the engagement, whether you agree or not. Feel free to fact check me. We can debate all day long. Just don't be a troll. And give it a shot. Keep an open mind. Just hop on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's called Red Pill Tamales, but we talk about a lot of stuff. And The audience is the best part of it. The TIA, the Tamal Intelligence Agency. But anyway, we chewed your ear off. A lot more clips coming. Thanks. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in a city near you. Red Pill Tamales. Sas.